Looking to get your first Rolex? Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Okay, this is going to be a little different today. Yes, I just got my first Rolex and I will be peeling off some stickers. The person in the AD wanted to peel them all, but I asked him to save some for me. At least I can show it to you guys in this video. I'll be doing a full review in another video, so let's go ahead and unbox and peel some stickers on this piece. So as with all Rolex, they come with a very generic white cardboard box, and once you open up, you're greeted with this green plastic box with this kind of I don't know, wavy textured plastic. So open up, this is the watch. So this is the watch. Let me just remove it from the watch cushion. All right. And yeah, before we go into the watch, let's delve a little bit into the watch box. So here is where you keep your warranty booklet, manual, and warranty card and all that. Okay, so I'm gonna move in a little bit closer to the watch. Okay, so this is a little bit closer to the watch now. We're gonna peel off some stickers here, so let's try to do it with me looking at the watch through my phone. Let's try to peel off. Well, it took a while and I managed to peel off. I guess I've peeled off all the stickers on the clasp. I'm just gonna leave the one on the case back for a while here because yeah, I just still want to have a new feel watch. So this is the part where the storytelling comes. If you are planning to get your very first Rolex, this might help a bit in your decision making. Being a watch enthusiast, most of us would have gone through the road. For me, I never thought of owning a Rolex. I used to have the impression that Rolex is overhyped, over-speculated, worn by those who do not know much about watches just to flaunt their wealth or something like that. However, over the years, I've learned to appreciate Rolex, its history, its visionary founder Hans Wilsdorf, and the level of quality that Rolex put into their watches. Up to a point that I told my wife, who by the way isn't a watch fan but has been very supportive in my watch collecting hobby, that I intend to get a Rolex in a few years' time. She agreed. We talked about it and agreed that I need to start saving up if I wanted to get one. I spent a lot of time going over the internet looking for a perfect entry into Rolex, from pre-owned to brand new. Many who are very experienced would advise to go the pre-owned path. But for the inexperienced like me, there will always be fears. Fear of not getting a legitimate piece, fear of getting an ill-conditioned piece, fear of the need of servicing, fear of being shortchanged or overpaying. Yeah, that is a lot of fear. As I did my research, I decided that an Oyster Perpetual would be a perfect entry. I wanted something that doesn't scream Rolex. I need something stealthier so that when it is on my wrist, it would just look like an ordinary watch to the rest. Also, the Oyster Perpetual, in my opinion, is neither a true sport watch or a true dress watch. To me, it is a versatile piece that would go with any outfit and could be worn in any occasion. My search included older pieces like the Oyster Perpetual and Air Kings. I never intended to go into vintage piece or anything over 20 years old because of my fears, but there are many who would go that path, as there is where you can find the best deal, as most would say. Nothing wrong with that, it's just your personal preferences. If you're comfortable with it, and if there is an historical or iconic pieces from that era that you want, go ahead by all means. Just make sure that you do your homework before diving in. Well, after weighing all my options, I decided to go new. It would be the Oyster Perpetual, a perfect entry into Rolex, as most would say. With my pleasant experience with my Tudor Black Bay 36, I feel that a 36mm would be a sweet spot for my small wrist. And the day came this year. I'm ready to get one. I really love the 36mm Explorer with the reference number 114270, but a used piece from the early 2000 would cost around the range of 5,000 US dollars. And the new 39mm Explorer with the reference number 214270 feels a little too big for my small wrist. So initially I wanted to get the blue dial Oyster Perpetual 36 with the 369 indices. Rolex being Rolex, the model is not available in any of the ADs near where I stay, and nobody could promise me when they could be getting a new one. There are a couple of purple grape dial and a champagne dial one left in the AD. Then there is this piece beaming to me. This is the only white dial Oyster Perpetual that they have in the store. I tested it and I immediately fell in love. And here is the watch with me today. I hope that my long-winded and slow-paced storytelling does help you in making a decision in deciding which Rolex to get as your first Rolex. So if it does help, please give this video a thumbs up. And you can also follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch for more watch pictures. Till then, I will catch you guys in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe because I'll be doing a full review of this piece very soon. Bye bye.